Hello. Today, we're going to be ranking the best sounding cars in GTA Online. We got 10 cars to rank. This is post 2 News DLC, so this is after the 2 News DLC has come out. We got some pretty good sounding cars with the 2 News DLC. Now, similar to my other ranking videos, this list is completely irrefutable. If you disagree, you are simply wrong. Don't even bother commenting, because you're wrong. I'm right, and you're wrong, if you disagree. Anyway, guys, starting off, we got number 10. Alright guys, at number 10 we have the Ubermarked Cipher. Now, I must admit, this car does not sound that great, but it does sound pretty good, as you will hear right now. Next up, at number 9, we have the Calico GTF. This car, I wasn't expecting it to sound this good when it came out in GTA Online, but it does sound pretty darn good, as you guys are about to hear.
Get up.
Alright guys, next up, at number 8, we have the Coquette Blackfin. Now this is the topless version. You can get it with a roof if you want to. This thing actually has a very unique engine sound. I don't think it actually shares this with any other cars in the game. But it is going to be ranked this high on the list because there are some cars that I just feel like sound better even though they might share an engine sound with another vehicle. Anyway, let's hop in. Alright guys, at number 7, we have the Bravado Verlierer. My German friends tell me all the time that I mispronounce that. I'm sorry, I've forgotten again. It's been a while. Forgive me. This thing actually sounds really good, and it's actually a pretty cheap car all things considered, and it's a decent performer as well. So overall, pretty good car. I would recommend picking this thing up if you guys don't have one. Let's hop in, see what it sounds like. Alright guys, next up we have an absolute classic, the Shafter V12. This thing sounds incredible, especially for the price. This thing goes for about 120 to 150 grand if it's the unarmored version. There is of course the LWB or the V12. This is the V12. They both sound really good though. Let's hop in and I'll let you guys hear it. Alright guys, this is your halfway reminder that if you disagree with any of the cars that I've picked so far, you're wrong. Next up, we have the Sultan RS Classic. This thing sounds incredible. I really like this car. I'm gonna hop inside and let you guys hear it. Alright guys, at number 3 we have the Vapid Dominator ASP. Now this thing is super high on the list because I believe it actually has a completely unique engine sound. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like I don't hear any other cars that have this particular engine sound. And it sounds really good, especially if you're into muscle cars. But even if you're not, you're still probably gonna like the sound. Let's hop in. Alright guys, next up at number 4, we have the Canis Remus. Now this car sounds completely fantastic. Honestly, I think it's probably one of the best sounding cars in the entire game. It's got a really good two-step sort of sound. It sounds very good. Let's hop in. I want you guys to hear this. Alright guys, at number 2 we have the Emperor Vector. Now, arguably the best sounding car that came out of the 2 News DLC. It does share its sound, however, with a few other cars in the game like the Lampadati Komoda and I believe the Ocelot XA21, and I'm sure there's actually a couple more, but those two are the ones that come to mind immediately. With that being said though, it is such a good sound that it doesn't really matter. It sounds amazing, so it gets ranked this high automatically. Let's hop in. Alright guys, and here we are at number 1. We have the absolute best sounding car in the game, undisputed, the Canis Seminole. Now the Canis Seminole is an extremely underrated vehicle. You can get this thing off the street for absolutely free, or you can purchase it from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a very cheap price, which I'm not actually sure of the actual price. But trust me, this thing is an absolute beast. Let's hop inside. Okay, in all seriousness, of course, the Sterling GT is the best sounding car in the game, we all know that, so I figured, why be boring and do the same thing as everyone else in their best sounding cars list, and put the Sterling GT at number 1. Let's put a vehicle that is so underappreciated in Grand Theft Auto Online at number 1, and try to get it some more exposure. Now the Canis Seminole is an absolute beast, everyone should own one, I don't care what you say. Make sure you buy a Canis Seminole. Let me know what you thought of the list in the comments down below, but keep in mind, if you disagree, you're wrong. Anyway guys, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.